What is up, guys? Pie Muffin here, and here we are at the beginning of the Trails of Cold Steel arc in the Trail series. Obviously, up to this point, we have done the entirety of the Trails in the Sky trilogy, and we have played the first of the two games in the Crossbell trilogy, which was Trails from Zero. Now, for those who have followed my series, they know why I am playing Trails of Cold Steel before waiting for Trails to Azure. But for those who don't know, I will quickly explain before we go ahead and get started. Lore-wise, in the series, the Trails of Cold Steel, the first Trails of Cold Steel game, takes place roughly around the same time as Trails from Zero, whereas Trails to Azure takes place around the same time as Trails of Cold Steel 2. So, in terms of doing things chronologically instead of just when they were released, because there are things both in Trails to Azure and Trails of Cold Steel 2 that will spoil each of the other games. So I figure it's best to do it this way, do each one first. So we do Trails from Zero, then Trails of Cold Steel 1, then we'll do Trails to Azure, and then we will do Trails of Cold Steel 2, and then move on from there, doing the rest of the Cold Steel games while we wait for Trails into Reverie, which is coming out this summer. Obviously, if you are new to me doing these videos, I have played all these games, but I thought it'd be fun just to do them as like a series. And of course, I do play the games when they come out in Japanese, so besides when Nayuta comes out later this year, none of these are going to be blind playthroughs. They're all stuff I have played before, but of course, since I'm playing a lot of these in Japanese when they first come out, there's a lot of stuff I'm going to miss when I first play through them, so when they do eventually get English releases, it'll be that more fun to see what I miss out on. But we are going to be starting with Cold Steel now. Obviously, a new group of characters as opposed to who we just saw in Trails from Zero. So it's going to be exciting to kind of go through this, especially if it's your first time seeing the series. I know I do have a few people who watch these videos that, don't actually play the games. They just watch my reaction or watch my playthrough. So, that's got to be fun. So let's go ahead and get started. Let me just make sure everything is ready to go. So I do have BGM kind of down because the BGM for this game is like insanely high as opposed to everything else. Obviously we are playing in Japanese because we played the first 4 games that we've done in this playthrough series in Japanese, so we're going to continue with that. One more thing to mention that's going to be a little different here is starting from the Cold Steel games, the games are not fully voiced like they mostly are in the Crossbell games, and then of course they fully are in the Trails in the Sky games for the playthroughs I've done. The simple reason for that is because those games got remaster treatment where they ended up putting in like everything fully voiced later on. These games have not gotten that treatment yet. I don't know if they ever will, because from Cold Steel onward, the games are like 100 hours. So I don't know if they'll ever get the full voice acted treatment. So there's going to be a lot more of me reading lines, and even sometimes you'll have parts of a scene that'll be voiced, and then parts of that same scene that's not voiced. Or like only one character in that scene is voiced while everyone else is not voiced. So it's gonna be an experience to kind of do that. But as you can, I don't know if this is supposed to be the original kind of like main screen, but as you can see, we have some new characters as opposed to the SSS and the Libero crew. So we're going to get to learn some new characters. And the exciting part about this, I know I've kind of had this intro going on for quite a while. Trails of Cold Steel, this first one, is the first Trails game I ever played. So I had no prior knowledge to any characters from the previous arcs or anything that happened. So this is my first time actually going back since I started the series almost 3 years ago now, maybe like 2.5 years ago at this point. So I'm interested to see what things I pick up on this time that I didn't when I first played through the game. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get started. So new game, and for now we'll leave it on normal. I don't know if I remember making that mistake in Trails from Zero, but I don't know if we can change it after the fact. But we'll leave it on normal for now, and we'll see how it goes. So let's go ahead and get started. telling us where we are right now. Corellia Fortress. Obviously a big battle going on. A lot of dead soldiers here. So, as I'm sure you can tell from the beginning already, this game is starting in a similar vein as to what Trails from Zero did, where they're just kind of showing us a scene that's gonna, you know, happen eventually.
むごいな。硝煙の匂い、火薬も使われている。どうやら完全に隙を突かれたようだな。戦車の暴走も含めて全ておとりか。ええ、やはり狙いは2門の列車砲。クロスベルの通商会議を本気で狙うつもりでしょう。
Oh, the trade conference in Crossbell City. Actually, that hasn't. So, even Cold Steel 1 does spoil some stuff about Azure, I guess. So I guess this is later along than, you know, I was really thinking it was. But, yeah, we haven't gotten there yet.
やはり狙いは鉄血宰相の首ということか。
愚かな。ここまでの防御に出ると。
時間がありません。俺たちも協力させてください。列車砲が起動する前に何としても彼らを止めましょう。
リーン、そうだよね。僕たちも頑張らないと。
And of course, it's super, like, disorienting at first, you know, for 5, you know, assuming you had played Azure before playing this. You know, we had, like, chibi sprites, but now this is the first time we're getting, like, full-on character models. But yeah, so I was a little off. So yeah, at least this scene of this game kind of takes place during Azure. So I think it's like, at least like half of this first game is going to take place during the Zero time frame.
やれやれ、止めても無駄みたいね。リーン以下 A 班、このまま私についてきなさい。B 班は少佐の指揮に従うこと。それぞれ二手に分かれて右翼と左翼の列車砲を抑える。これは訓練ではない実戦だ。くれぐれも気を引き締めるがいい。了解しました。トールス士官学院特化クラス7組一同、列車砲の起動を食い止めるべくこれよりミッションを開始する。日頃の成果を見せるときだ。全力で教官たちをサポートするぞ。はい。
So of course explaining how the game works. How to save. So, like I mentioned before, this is kind of like, you know, you just get to jump in the fray a little bit before, you know, we start from the beginning, so to speak. We have some characters we're being introduced to. So we got Reen, Laura, Gaius, Sarah, Emma, and Jusis on, I guess this is Group A, as we saw. Wow, level 49. So, yeah, this will definitely be very much later in the game as a whole. Ugh, the way the camera moves is kind of, like, weird to what we're used to. Okay, we can obviously rest. I don't think we need to.
おいでなすったわね。
I still feel like games doing, like, I kind of like it because it's like, it gives you a taste as to what's going to come later, and then you see where they start from. But it also does make things a lot more confusing, especially with this many characters.
実習の時に現れた機械仕掛けの魔獣か。話は後、とっとと片付けるわよ。
了解。
They look like the archaisms of the society.
自然のパレスタイン、マイ、行くぞ。
So we have all kinds of crafts and stuff. We got S crafts, we got everything. Not gonna go crazy with that stuff yet, though. Alright, how much can we hit this thing for?
崩したぞ。
Oh yeah, I forgot. We have combo attacks.
行くぞ。
So Laura over here is a longsword user. Gaius right there uses a spear. Sarah over here uses a gun and a sword. And then Reen has a Tachi. Not too bad so far. Guess we could use a craft or two.
そこだ。チャンスだ。
食らいなさい。私の番だな。
Pretty weak enemies so far. It's the first battle after all, so it makes sense.
参る。そこだ。チャンスだ。
食らいなさい。私の番ね。今よ。なかなか筋がいいじゃない。
教官こそ恐れ入りました。
That's gonna be the only downside. The like end of battle quotes aren't gonna have lines with them like we did in Actually, I don't even think they had them in Zero. I think the characters were just kind of like there. Said their lines.
間違いない。あの時の魔獣と同じタイプだ。どうやら要塞内に大量に放たれているらしいな。
By the way, I know I mentioned how like not everything's gonna be voiced. Obviously, this is the intro of the game, so most of it's gonna be fully voiced.
さっきの兵士たちを襲ったのもこいつらだろう。
はい。
人形兵器。
教官も言っていたが、それが本当の名前なのか。ええ、とある連中が作った使い捨ての厄介な兵器でね。
Unsavory group, so obviously this female instructor knows about the society.
慎重に、迅速に先を急ぐわよ。
承知。
All right, how do I open the map? Oh, I guess you can't. It's gonna be one of those sections where you can't actually open the mini-map. Oh well. Oh yeah, we do have a sprint button.
襲い来るなら迎え撃つのみ。
And then there is a, I forget what button it is. Oh yeah, you can, I'll probably like toggle it eventually, but you can use turbo mode in this game as well. Then of course we do have S brakes as well. All the usual stuff we've had up to this point.
崩れたぞ。
隙あり。行くぞ。はっ。私の番ね。
行くぞ。
私の番だ。殲滅完了。お疲れ様。
All I suppose the XP is good, but this isn't gonna matter if we're gonna get reset. Oh yeah, we can switch characters if we want to. Can't do what we did in Zero, at least not yet, where we hit the enemy and then get them from behind. I guess we don't have the ability for the KO either. Like when an enemy gets low on health when you do a combo like that. Now this will be a very long story with these characters we are just being introduced to, since there are 4 Cold Steel games, each one being roughly 100-hour games, so we'll be spending a lot of times with these characters. A lot of time with these characters, rather. Probably the most time you'll spend with any group of characters in the series.
俺の番だ。そこだ。時が欲しい。行くとしよう。
And of course, you know, the models for this. I see the weird part is like I almost prefer the sprites to this, just because Cold Steel 1 and 2 are in this weird in-between point of, you know, good-looking 3D models and then just the sprites. But from Cold Steel 3 and onward, everything looks pretty normal to what you expect in, like, today's games. But obviously, the first 2 Cold Steel games are in, like, the early 2010s. Plus, Falcom is, you know, obviously not always as up-to-date with, you know, character models as some other franchises you might play, just because they are a very small company. However, I would say they're pretty up there right now with their most current games. So we now have our 3rd main character of the series. This is Reen. First we had Estelle, then we had Lloyd. I mean, we still have Lloyd. We still have to get through Lloyd's final game. Well, I say final solo game. Sure, why not? Different, healing center music. I actually do want to... Can we change it now? I want to turn the, Oh, it looks like you can't. Okay. So it seems like for the speed up, like turbo mode, there's no toggle. It's just you either have it on or you have it off. So that's a little bit more annoying. Very good question.
カレリア峡谷、クロスベル州との境界ですね。
So we learned about these in Zero. These are the railway guns at Gorelia Fortress, which tells you we're from Erebonia, obviously.
列車砲か。なんて大きさだ。
軌道が速すぎる。まさか狙いもつけずにぶっ放すつもりなの。
サラ教官。
More archaisms.
こんなものまで実用化されているのか。
この忙しい時にあんたたち速攻でぶっ潰すわよ。
了解。
制圧を開始する。
敵発見。撃破する。俺の番だ。
We could just S-craft these things out of the way. That did nothing.
アークス、駆動。
俺の番だな。
Sure, let's use yours.
炎我が剣に集えはあ
We get full 2D art for their S-Craft animations now.
任せるがよい。
I don't think, yeah, not in these. Oh wait, actually, can we? Oh yeah, you can. Okay, so a nice little feature, since this is a lot different than Zero, and you're gonna have a lot of party members. You can actually, on the fly, switch out your party members each, time it's one. It does use up their turn, I believe, but it's still nice to be able to have.
砕け散れ。後期。
That would have been nice to have a Zero art. Oh yeah, you also have a link. I mean, they're gonna explain all this stuff later, but yeah, I won't worry about it right now. Lightning charge, flash.
これはおまけよ。
俺の番だ
All right.
竜巻よ投げ払え今だ
隙あり。
参る
Yeah, better to just focus on one for right now.
私の番だな。はっ。崩したぞ。
ここだ
え？
I'm also myself trying to remember exactly, because even though the base gameplay of all these games is relatively similar, it's turn-based, you move around a field, each arc does have its own gimmicks as to how they play.
任せてくれ竜巻よ投げ払え
Getting a lot of defense down.
行くぞ。
Radiant Dance.
我が渾身の一撃。食らうがよい。
Big Sword.
後期。後陣乱撃。
行くぞ
私の番ね。
逃さん俺の番だ
About halfway there.
アークス駆動参る
A lot of arts that we're used to seeing.
まあ任せておけ
Oh, it doesn't use up their turn. But once you swap, you can't, swap back. So if you click the wrong person, then, you're kind of screwed. I thought I missed. There really wasn't a connect with that first hit.
行くぞ。
任せるがいい
So yeah, unfortunately, this early stuff we're seeing right here does kind of spoil a little bit of stuff we're gonna see in Azure, but we're seeing it from a different vantage point. So you do know at some point during Azure, the railway guns are gonna be opened up.
さあ次へ行くとしよう
頼もしい限りだ。
They explode.
自爆までするとは
Thankfully, they weren't in battle self-destruct ones.
時間が欲しい。私だけでも先行する。君たちは安全を確保しながら。
I think we might be too late.
「列車砲が
しまった。
よせやめろ
And that's pretty much your little prologue right there. Or whatever you want to call it. Tutorial, maybe? A Tale of the Erebonian Empire. The Legend of Heroes. Trails of Cold Steel. I think this is where they're going to do their little intro of all the characters and everything. Reen Schwarzer. Just read off the names. Alisa R. Gaius Warzel, Elliot Craig. Eustace Alberea, Machias Regnitz. Laura S. Arcade, Fee Klossel. Emma Milstein. Crow Armbrust, Angelica Rogner. Toa Herschel, Sarah Valenstein. Or Valestein? Valestein? Okay, and a bunch of names. Just a bunch of characters you're going to get introduced to over the course of this game. We know you, Gileath Osborne. Someone we know as well. Very interesting way to kind of introduce things by showing like all the characters pretty much that you're gonna come across. If it wasn't obvious enough at this point, they're obviously some kind of academy kids by their uniforms. See, here's where we finally start. Okay, so 3/31. So March 31st. 5 months earlier, so it's going to be 5 months before we get there. On the outskirts of the capital, Heimdallr, in central Erebonia. 400 Selge west of Trista. For Beriahard via Seldik. There's Reen on a train. Just how we saw Lloyd start his journey.
ケルディック経由バリアハート行き旅客列車をご利用いただきありがとうございます。次はトリスタ1分ほどの停車となりますので、お降りになる方はお忘れ物のないようご注意ください。
Almost there. Man, spring's really in full bloom here, huh? Back home, there was still so much snow on the ground, I hardly even realized it. Like a lot of people wearing those school uniforms coming here. Although you've got, oh, well, there's Emma. Some of the characters we saw before. There's Alisa. You notice they have different colored uniforms as well. Like, some of them are, like, yeah, you can see them out there. Some of them are wearing green. Those are some loud footsteps. Holy crap. Oh, even one of those kids has like a white uniform. As if we weren't introduced to his name multiple times already.
こんなに咲いているのは初めて見たな。
I'll be spending the next 2 years here. Wonder how long it'll be before I think of it as home. But yeah, I think I'm gonna like it. Well.
ごめん、大丈夫か？すまない。俺がぼーっとしてたせいだな。
Yeah, probably.
気にしないで。私も花に見とれちゃってたから。でも、すごく良さそうな街ね。
ああ、俺もちょうど同じことを思っていたところさ。トランク大丈夫か？落としちゃったみたいだけど。
ええ、心配しないで。それにしても同じ色の制服なのね。
They're noticing that pretty quick.
そういえばみんな緑の制服だけど、一体どうなっているんだ？送られてきたものを着てきただけなんだが。
それは私も同じだけど、でも他にも着ている人を見かけたし、理由があるのかもしれないわね。
Oh yeah, another thing to mention. The first 2 Cold Steel games were done by, or I should say localized by the same people who did the 3 Sky games. So the translations do have some liberties to them, just like they did in Sky.
それこそ同じクラスだったりとか。
ああ。
それじゃあ入学式の時にまた会えそうな気もするけど。
名前聞いとくんだったな。まあいいや。これから先も顔を合わせる機会はありそうだし。
Most likely.
しかし同じ色の制服か。
Guess you'll find out.
このオーブメントにしても制服と一緒に届いた割には何も説明もなかったし。
Thors Military Academy.
士官学校の備品にしてはかなり凝ってるみたいだけど。まあいい。そろそろ行こう。トールズ士官学院は町の北側にあるみたいだ。まだ時間はあるけど、入学式に遅刻なんてしたらシャレにならないからな。
I'd agree. Prologue, The Way to Thors. You can now view the summary tab in your notebook. Yep, like we have in every game. Yep, you can know where you're supposed to go. So, kind of a humble beginning story, just like the first 2 arcs. Although a little different, of course. You know, for Estelle's story, she was becoming a bracer. For Lloyd's story, he's becoming a police officer. And then for Reen, he's going to a military academy.
ちょっとした公園になっているのか。周りにいろいろな店もあるし、一休みにはもってこいだな。
Another red uniform.
女の子？
Is she a new student? She's got the uniform and all. See what I mean? Like, it just went from him voicing it to him being quiet. The ceremony's gonna be starting soon. Maybe I should wake her up.
Oh.
Apparently a good sleep.
おい。
そろそろ行かなきゃ。
She's sure a strange one, like a stray cat or something. If she's headed to the school, I'd say it's my cue to pick up the pace. Yeah, probably a good idea. I mean, we could still look around real quick to see what kind of places are going to be here. So we got Kirsch's Cafe and Inn. Can we even go in? No, we can't. I assume not. This cafe looks pretty nice. Seems like the perfect place to come and unwind after a long day of classes. I mean, the school is like right up there, so yeah, you've got a nice little town down here. Brandon's General Goods. Okay, normal goods store. A boutique. Okay, you can probably get like armor here, I would assume. Gardening shop. Cool. Bookstore. And I'm sure we'll get a better lay of the land here. I'm sure some of these places are dorms as well. But yeah, still really cool that we get to see the month and day from this game moving. Well, obviously not when we go back and do Azure after this, but from Cold Steel 1 onward, so the 4 Cold Steel games, and then everything that comes after that, we'll actually see as the days pass. What are you just standing here for? So that's Thors Military Academy. It's right in front of me, but the idea of attending such a prestigious school still feels like a dream. Just thinking about it is getting me all nervous again. Well, better get ready. Alright, I guess we should just head to the school then.
Mm, ありがとう。G も元気で、父上の留守はよろしく頼んだぞ。
はは、心得ております。これは失礼。良き日和でございますな。
I mean, spoken just like someone who's old.
この度はご入学誠におめでとうございます。
あ、ええ、ありがとうございます。
I'm guessing he's a butler. He certainly looks the part. That means the girl with him must have been a noble. She did have a certain dignity about her. I wonder if she's from a famous military family or something. Well, we have run into a few characters already that, of course, have the same uniform color as Reen here.
ここが
Thors Military Academy.
ここがトールズ士官学院。
Gives the same sort of
大帝が創設したと伝えられる学校か。
I'll wait till he's done. But it gives the same sort of vibe as Genus Royal
お疲れ
Academy.
様です。士官学院に到着いたしました。
ご苦労。
There's Jusis. We saw him in the like little prologue thing.
お荷物お持ちいたします。
無用だ。悪目立ちをするつもりはない。
ですが。
無用と言っている。あとは適当に休憩してからバリアハートへ戻るがいい。
あ、それでは失礼いたします。
It's not much luggage. It's like one little like long suitcase.
良き学院生活を。お体にはお気をつけください。
Although I assume if they're at such a prestigious academy, like the only clothes you're gonna need are your school clothes. Besides, I guess, like, what you might wear on, like, an off day. I would not know. I never went to a school like that. Wow, an Orbital limousine. And one of Reinford's fanciest models, too. We've heard about the Reinford family. Or the Rhineford group, rather. Looks like even Erebonia's upper crust sends their children here. Send their children here. I honestly probably should have stopped for the video right before then, but we'll stop right after this.
君が最後みたいだね。リン・シュバルツァー君でいいんだよね。
はい。どうも、はじめまして。しかし、どうして自分の名前を？
Well, process of elimination, I would say, is that they probably have a student roster, and you're probably the last one to show up.
ちょっと事情があってね。今はあんまり気にしないで。
Or just don't tell us.
それが申請した品かい？一旦預からせてもらうよ。
ああ、案内書にあった通りですね。
Rain handed his bag to the boy.
確かに。ちゃんと後で返されるとは思うから心配しないでくれ。
入学式はあちらの講堂であるからこのまままっすぐどうぞ。
I assume they don't want like a bunch of people running into an auditorium with their weapons, because what if you have like someone infiltrating or something?
あ、そうそう。トールズ主幹学院へようこそ。
Yeah, and she's wearing he's not wearing anything. He just looks like an engineer, the guy on the left. But the girl is wearing green, just like all the other normal students.
入学おめでとう。充実した2年間になるといいな。
I guess those two must be second years. That girl definitely looked younger than me, though. What was that about me being the last? I'm not seriously the very last student to check in, am I? I mean, with the bell ringing, you might want to run. Sounds like it's about time for the ceremony to start, though. Well, here's to the start of a great 2 years.
最後に君たちに一つの言葉を送らせてもらおう。
Well, I guess we'll end after this then. Principal Van Dyck.
本学院が設立されたのはおよそ220年前のことである。
220 years ago, wow.
創立者はかのドライケルス大帝。獅子戦役を終結させたエレボニア帝国中興の祖である。
Yeah, the first emperor of well, I don't know if the first emperor, but he he's definitely one of the biggest.
即位から30年余り。晩年の大帝は帝都からほど近いこの地に兵学や砲術を教える士官学校を開いた。近年軍の機構化とともに本学院の役割も大きく変わっており、軍以外の道に進む者も多くなったが、それでも大帝が残したある言葉は今でも学院の理念として息づいておる。若者よ、世の礎たれ。
Yeah, so even if they graduate and decide they don't want to pursue a military career, they still have the knowledge that they gained here to apply to their own lives.
世という言葉をどう捉えるのか。何をもって礎たる資格を持つのか。これからの2年間で自分なりに考え、切磋琢磨する手がかりにしてほしい。わしの方からは以上である。
The foundation of the world, huh?
いきなりハードルを上げられちゃった感じだね。
Hello, other
さ
red.
すが獅子神皇帝と言うべきか。単なるスパルタなんかよりもはるかに難しい目標だな。
そうだよね。
Elliot Craig.
僕はエリオット。エリオット・クレイグだよ。
リーン・シュバルツァーだ。そういえば同じ色の制服だな。
うん。どういうことなんだろうね。ほとんどの新入生は緑色の制服みたいだけど、あ、向こうにいる白い制服は貴族の新入生なのかな。
なあ、そうみたいだな。だが
どうしたの？
あ、いや、なんでもない。
Yeah, we saw a couple nobles already in there in
以
red.
上でトールズ士官学院第215回入学式を終了します。以降は入学案内書に従い指定されたクラスへ移動すること。学院におけるカリキュラムや規則の説明はその場で行います。
Okay.
以上、解散。
指定されたクラスって送られてきた入学案内書にそんなの書いてあったっけ？
いや、なかったはずだ。てっきりこの場で発表されると思っていたんだが。
赤い制服の子たちは注目。どうやらクラスがわからなくなって戸惑ってるみたいね。
A little.
実はちょっと事情があってね。君たちにはこれから特別オリエンテーリングに参加してもらいます。
え？
特別オリエンテーリング。
すぐにわかるわ。それじゃ全員私についてきて。
Sure.
とりあえず行くしかなさそうだ。
やれやれだな。
本当どういうことなのかな。
わからないが、とにかく行ってみよう。
Yeah, I guess we'll find out sooner or later. Seems like the nobles are interested. It's a building. Academy, old schoolhouse. Well, Genus had an old schoolhouse too, and it was filled with monsters.
ここって
士官学院の裏手。ずいぶん古い建物みたいだな。
This is
こ
awkward.
んな場所で何を？
There's a lot of us here, so there's 2, 4, 6, 8, 9. 9 students.
わけがわからないぞ。
まあ考えても仕方あるまい。
なんかいかにも出そうな建物だよね。
そうだな。
I think this is everyone I've seen with a red uniform so far. I guess we really are part of the same class then.
はっはあ、あれが俺たちの後輩ってわけだな。
まあ名目こそ違うが似たようなものだろうね。私たちの努力が報われたのならこんなに嬉しいことはない。1年間地道に頑張った甲斐があるというものだよ。
だよなーって、お前は努力なんてしてねえだろ。好き勝手やってただけじゃねえか。
それは君も同じだろ。しかしアリサ君といい可愛い子ばかりで嬉しいな。これはぜひともお近づきにならないとね。
Oh boy.
知り合いでもいんのか？じゃなくて粉かけまくるんじゃねえよ。お前のせいでこの1年どんだけの男子が寂しい思いをしたと思ってやがるんだ。鼻で笑いやがったな。
もう二人とも喧嘩しちゃダメじゃない。
いや、2人ともお疲れ。
他のひよこどもは一通り仕分け終わったみてえだな。
うん。みんなとてもいい顔をしてたかな。
Bright-eyed, sure.
よーし、充実した学院生活が送れるようしっかりサポートしなき
ゃ。さすがは会長殿。
Student Council President, huh?
おう、張り切っちゃって。
まあ多少の助けがないと最初のうちは厳しいだろうしね。それでそちらの準備も一通り終わったみたいだね。
ああ、教官の指示通りにね。しかしなんというか、彼らには同情を禁じ得ないな。
ま、それは同感だぜ。
Neither do we.
本年度から発足する訳ありの特別クラス。
That's a great sign.
せいぜいお手並みを拝見するとしようかね。
Old schoolhouse, first floor.
Sarah Balestine。今日から君たち7組の担任を務めさせてもらうわ。よろしくお願いするわね。
7組？
それに君たちって。
聞いていた話と違うな。
サラ教官、この学院の1学年のクラス数は5つだったと記憶していますが、それも各自の身分や出身に応じたクラス分けで。
お、さすが首席入学、よく調べているじゃない。そう、5つのクラスがあって貴族と平民で区別されていたわ。
Okay.
あくまで去年まではね。今年からもう一つのクラスが新たに立ち上げられたのよね。
Okay, but why skip to 7 instead of just 6?
すなわち君たち身分に関係なく選ばれた特化クラス7組が。
They're trying to bridge the gap.
特化クラス7組。
身分に関係ないって本当なんですか？
冗談じゃない。身分に関係ない。そんな話は聞いていませんよ。
確か君は
マキアス・レーグニッツです。それよりもサラ教官、自分はとても納得しかねます。
So of course this is the issue you're gonna see arise here is just, you know, and we've seen this up in the, you know, all the games up to this point. There's always kind of been this, you know, divide between commoners and nobles.
まさか貴族風情と一緒のクラスでやっていけって言うんですか？
そう言われてもね。同じ若者同士なんだからすぐに仲良くなれるんじゃない？
そんなわけないでしょう。
Just don't blurt out like you are right now.
君、何か文句でもあるのか？
別に。平民風情が騒がしいと思っただけだ。
これはどうやら大貴族のご子息殿が紛れ込んでいたようだな。
Oh boy.
その尊大な態度、さぞ名のある家柄と見受けるが。
ユーシス・アルバレア、貴族風情の名前ごとき覚えてもらわなくても構わんが。
四大名門。
We learned about the 4 great houses briefly.
東の黒い戦士を治めるアルバレア公爵家の
大貴族の中の大貴族ね。
なるほど。噂には聞いていたが。
だからどうした？その大層な家名に誰もがひるむと思ったら大間違いだぞ。いいか、僕は絶対に。
はいはい、そこまで。い うとは思うけど、文句は後で聞かせてもらうわ。そろそろオリエンテーリングを始めないといけないしね。
オリエンテーリング、それって一体何なんですか？そういう野外競技があるのは聞いたことがありますが。
あ
もしかして門のところで預けたものと関係が？
あら、いい感してるわね。それじゃ早速始めましょうか。
Uh oh.
しまった。
こらフィー、サボってないで。あんたも付き合うの。オリエンテーリングにならないでしょうが。
めんどくさいな。
A lot more capable than she first seems.
何が起こったんだ？
いきなり床が傾いて。やれやれ、不覚を取ってしまったな。
ここは先ほどの建物の地下か。
ふん、くだらん真似を。
心臓が飛び出るかと思ったよ。リーンは大丈夫？
Well, that's awkward. Easy now, hands where she can see him.
なんなのよ、まったく。
Well, this is gonna have some misunderstandings.
あら？
その、なんと言ったらいいのか。とりあえず申し訳ない。でもよかった。無事で何よりだった。
Well, I guess that was expected. He really, I mean, everyone else ended up fine. He really didn't need to jump in front of her to, like, stop her fall. This all would have been better if he hadn't.
ああ、薬味だ。
Looks like that's all their suitcases.
それにしても、ここは一体。
うん、何か置かれてるみたいだけど。
Phone ring.
これは。
入学案内書と一緒に送られてきた携帯用の動力機か。
それは特注の戦術オーブメントよ。
この機械から
通信機能を内蔵しているのか？
It was the same thing in Zero.
まさかこれって。
ええ、エプスタイン財団とラインフォルト社が共同で開発した次世代の戦術オーブメントの一つ。第5世代戦術オーブメントアークスよ。
Now they're called Arcus units.
アークス。
戦術オーブメント。アーツが使えるという特別な動力機のことですね。
そう。クォーツをセットすることでアーツが使えるようになるわ。というわけで各自受け取りなさい。
Well, that's convenient.
君たちから預かっていた武具と 特別なクォーツを用意したわ。それぞれ確認した上でクォーツをアークスにセットしなさい。
うん、とにかくやってみるか。
まったく一体何のつもりだ。
俺のはあれか。
僕のはあっちだ。行ってくるね。
Alright, and with that, we will definitely stop things here. So, a very interesting first day of classes, so to speak, for Mr. Reen Schwarzer. Things seemed to be going alright until he got in hot water with Alisa by trying to stop her fall. We'll see how long it takes for her to forgive him for that, but this is our Class 7 of Thors Military Academy. I'd say the only thing I really don't like about this is just that I feel like it's too many characters for this early in the game. I still think it would have been nicer, but obviously it's like a class thing, so I mean, what can you really do? It's not like you can have students coming in the middle of the year, so I get why we have so many, but we'll just see how things go as the game progresses. So next time, we'll go ahead and grab our weapon and see what the next step is for this orienteering exercise. So that's gonna be it, guys. Hope you all enjoyed. Don't forget to subscribe more if you're new to the channel. I'll see you next time. Have a wonderful day, everyone.